So it's Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye, great artist on the Motown label. The songs that I've chosen, and every song that I actually play, and there's millions of them, I play music every single day. I'm a very emotional person when it comes to music. Music has a very, very strong significance and plays a very important role in my life every day. It's a motivating force, so I'm always playing music. But the music that I play, it's part of my history, it's part of my existence. So yeah, a song like that is very, very emotional. It's during a period of time where things were a lot different than they are now. There's a lot of injustices, but there's also a lot of happy times as well. So it's a combination of both.
You want to talk a little bit about how we met, Steve?
Right, yeah. That's a good one, that. Right, well, I was actually down in a place called Millennium Park, Bankside in Waterloo, where I've got close friends, stroke family, who have a stall selling Jamaican food, specifying in Jamaican jerk chicken. They've been there for 20 years. And I was actually with the proprietor, and we're just coming back from the shops, from the supermarket, and we saw a notice pinned on the gate of the park stating that somebody had lost a backpack and left a phone number. And I'd actually came across the backpack, basically disheveled, everything all over the place in the park that morning. I told the lady and she phoned the number, and the gentleman who's interviewing me now just came down, and I showed him what was left, because apparently somebody had come back and gone through the bins, which they usually do, because we have a lot of alcoholics, drunks, junkies, and they steal, a lot of thieves, and they bring their contents to the park, and whatever they've stolen, bring it to the park during the night, early hours of the morning. They discard what they want and take what they need, and that happened to be the case.
I tell you, it was an absolute shit of a thing. So I got my bag stolen from a bar around the corner from that park. I lost my laptop, my iPad, my headphones, my microphones, my hard drives, my passport. I lost pretty much everything. And I was despondent because I'd been working, and a lot of that work was to do with this podcast. And I thought, right, well, that's that. That's the end of that podcast. Like, that project is over. I lost a lot of stuff. But what was awesome was when you rang me up, and we came down to that park, and you and I went through those bins together.
Oh, yeah.
We went through those bins. Now, you didn't have to do that, but you got in there with me, and we went through those bins, and it was muck.
It was.
But we found my passport, manky though it now was.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of other bits and pieces, notebooks and pens, and my pass for work, and all sorts of other little bits and pieces, which made a real difference to me. But it was so incredibly heartwarming in this city, in London, that anyone would actually ring me up after I made those signs, because I was so desperate.
Well, I'm not from London, I'm from Yorkshire, so we have a totally different concept of behaviour, which, we've grown up with morals and principles, you know, so... To me, it was important to let you know, but it was also despondent that you'd lost so much important stuff, and I still feel it to this day, because to me, I've lost stuff in my life, important things in my life. I used to do poetry, and I've lost poetry, etc., which is important. Can't remember the bloody things anymore, but I know they're good at the time.
It's hard. You lose hundreds of hours of work, thousands
Exactly,
of hours.
so I could relate to what you've gone through. Not retrieving the important things, to me, was a blow, because it's supposed to be a family park anyway, you know.
Well, I have some good news, Steve. I might not have got any of that stuff back, right? But this podcast won an award.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why we're sitting here today, Steve.
Thank you so much.
Because we're still going because of you.
No, not because of me.
Oh, no, because of you. You dug those bits and pieces out. I got my passport back. You're the reason I can go back to New Zealand. And it just means so much.
Point, though. That's the key point. You're a New Zealander. And one thing I've learnt about New Zealanders is that they are die-hard. They just don't give in. And you've got that, you know. So, wow, you know, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you won an award. That is just... It's just... Oh, I'm trying to find the right words.
No, your smile says everything.
But to me, When I earlier on mentioned the song Abraham, Martin and John, and I mentioned the civil rights movement and the injustices, and that's one thing I'm about. I do not like injustices. I fight for justice, and I fought for justice all my life, and I like people that fight and don't give in, and you didn't give in, and that's important, you know.
So what's your second song going to be?
Second song is a reggae record, because I am a Rastafarian. I like all genres of music. I could be here all day. I could be here for the next 10 years playing music, and it's been very difficult to find 6. But it's my favourite reggae record of all time, and it's by a reggae group called The Meditations, and the song is called Turn Me Loose.